During this PPN presentation, we're going to take a look at a little thought of but critical fluid, which is essential to the operation of the engines that power our GMC trucks. Engine coolant. More specifically, the new coolant, which is being released by General Motors and GMC truck. It's called Dex-Cool. Dex-Cool is the GM registered trademark of this coolant, just as Dex-Run is the registered trademark for GM's automatic transmission fluid. Currently, Texaco is the only supplier approved by GM to manufacture this coolant. Dex-Cool coolant is so different from conventional green coolants that it has been colored orange to differentiate it from its predecessors. Special labels, like this one, will be used on GMC trucks that have Dex-Cool installed at the assembly plants. Beginning with Sonomas built after May 26, 1995, Dex-Cool is being installed at the assembly plant. The chart on page 5 of your reference manual gives the change dates. Be careful at pre-delivery time on these vehicles to ensure you know which coolant is being used. The C and K trucks will all change to Dex-Cool in early July. The Oshawa, Pontiac East, and Mexico assembly plants are to change over by July 2nd. The CK dualies built in Flint will change over by July 8th. And the Suburban, Yukon, and medium duties built in Janesville are scheduled to change by July 10th. The Detroit assembly plant P chassis are not scheduled to change until December 2nd. Make sure you identify which trucks have Dex-Cool before you top off one at pre-delivery. Why will become very apparent in the next few moments. But first, what is engine coolant? Just exactly what is it that is put into the radiator and recovery tank from these containers? Is it a heat transfer medium, an antifreeze, boil-over protection, corrosion inhibitor, water pump lubricant? Actually, the answer is yes to all of those and more. Of course, the primary function of any coolant is to transfer excess heat away from the engine, keeping it at its proper operating temperature so it can do its job. Now, the best liquid available to do this is pure water. It has the highest heat transfer capability and, in a pure form, will not cause corrosion. But there are drawbacks to pure water, and there are other requirements that it cannot meet. Some of the drawbacks are the relatively high freezing point and low boiling point of water. Most areas of the country can experience temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, water's freezing point. Also, many engines currently require operating temperatures in excess of 200 degrees Fahrenheit, too close to the 212 degrees Fahrenheit at atmospheric pressure where water boils into a vapor. Of course, as the system is pressurized, the boiling point will increase. The answer to overcoming these problems with water has proven to be a solution of 1/2 water and 1/2 ethylene glycol with other additives. While this solution doesn't transfer heat quite as well as pure water, it will do the job and has several advantages. It lowers the freezing point and raises the boiling point. The 50-50 solution won't freeze at 30 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, and it won't boil at 230 degrees Fahrenheit or 263 degrees Fahrenheit at 16 pounds pressure, a far better range than water's. And then there are the additives. Additives mixed with the ethylene glycol to lubricate the water pump, prevent dissimilar metal electrolysis, and to inhibit the formation of corrosion. The problem is that after being subjected to thermal cycling, the warm-up and cool-down truck engines are subjected to, the additives start to break down. Consequently, they need to be renewed at about 2 years or 30,000 miles, whichever comes first. And the easiest way to accomplish this is simply to change the coolant. The coolant's basic formula has been around for a number of years, and except for some anti-leak and aluminum corrosion protection promotions, the coolant manufacturers have been rather quiet. Oh, and then there were claims of environmentally safe propylene glycol coolant, which GM addressed in Service Bulletin 53-62-01B, which is covered in your reference manual. What hasn't changed until now is the 2-year or 30,000-mile coolant system service. GM's new Dex-Cool can change the service interval and change it significantly to 5 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. Notice that I said it can change the service interval. If Dex-Kool is not installed and handled properly, it too has only a 2-year, 30,000-mile service interval. So it is different. How is it different? Let's look at the details of its composition and the do's and don'ts of handling it. To begin with, Dex-Kool does contain an ethylene glycol base, just as most other coolants. However, Dex-Kool does not contain silicate, phosphate, or borate, which is included in conventional coolants. Nor does it contain propylene glycol, which the environmentally safe coolants contain. Therefore, Dex-Kool should never be mixed with propylene glycol-based coolants, conventional ethylene glycol coolants, or any other coolant. Instead of the silicate, phosphate, or borate additives in conventional coolants, Dex-Kool has unique organic-based inhibitor additives. These organic additives are responsible for the extended life of Dex-Kool, allowing the 5-year or 100,000-mile service interval. As I said earlier, Dex-Kool is orange in color to help distinguish it from conventional coolants. However, when you combine Dex-Kool with a special Cat 3116 diesel coolant additive, it becomes a reddish color. But it does not shorten the longevity of the Dex-Kool. This reddish color is normal only for the 3116. Let's move on to the handling and installation of this extended life coolant. As I stated earlier, do not mix or add conventional green coolant to Dex-Kool. If they are mixed, the extended life organic additives are affected by the silicate, phosphate, or borate and won't last the 5 years or 100,000 miles. If mixing does occur, the service interval must revert to the standard 2-year, 30,000 miles, as with all standard coolants. You've lost the biggest advantage of this new coolant, its extended life. It doesn't take very much conventional coolant to contaminate Dex-Kool. Simply using the same funnel or fill can for the two coolants can contaminate Dex-Kool. There can be even more adverse effects if the conventional and Dex-Kool coolants are mixed and put into a new engine which has accumulated less than 3,000 miles. The aluminum components of the new engine may corrode more than normal. Unlike a vehicle with greater than 3,000 miles, this contaminated coolant would not be capable of providing proper corrosion inhibition. If conventional coolant is introduced into a Dex-Kool vehicle with less than 3,000 miles on it, the mixture should be immediately removed and replaced with virgin Dex-Kool. Now, Dex-Kool can be used in cooling systems which have had conventional coolant in them, but special care must be taken. Even after a complete flush, there will be enough conventional coolant deposits on the metal surfaces to contaminate the Dex-Kool and cancel its extended life properties. So, if Dex-Kool is used in a cooling system which has had conventional coolant in it, the service interval must remain at 2 years or 30,000 miles. You may have noticed that I inferred that Dex-Kool can be used in place of conventional coolant in older vehicles. This is correct as long as there is no high lead content solder used in the cooling system, as seen here. Therefore, it should not be used in soldered copper-brass radiators. Basically, here's the rule to follow. 1994 and 1995 vehicles built with the conventional coolant may have Dex-Kool put in them. However, the service interval observed must be the standard 2-year, 30,000 mile. By January 1st, 1996, Dex-Kool will be installed in all GM vehicles at the assembly plants. The specific introduction dates for the various models are also listed in the reference manual. So, how critical is the contamination factor? If a new Dex-Kool cooling system is topped off with conventional coolant or otherwise contaminated, here are the steps you'll have to follow. First, the system must be completely drained and refilled with virgin uncontaminated Dex-Kool and deionized or distilled water mixed 50-50. If you're getting the idea that the mixing of Dex-Kool coolant and conventional green or greenish-yellow coolant will eliminate the extended life attribute of Dex-Kool, you're absolutely correct. Even with the organic extended life additives, there are some things that aren't different from conventional coolants. Since Dex-Kool contains ethylene glycol, it's toxic to animals, so pets and open pans of Dex-Kool don't mix. Animals and people can die from drinking ethylene glycol, so recycle and clean up any spills. Speaking of recycling, Dex-Kool can be mixed with conventional coolants when being recycled without any special effort. If you have recycling equipment in your shop, Dex-Kool will not harm it. However, we currently have insufficient information to recycle it back into an extended life coolant. This will come later. Another common feature of Dex-Kool and conventional coolants is that both will flash. In other words, if either fluid hits a very hot surface like an exhaust manifold or is sprayed into an open flame, there will be a fire flash. Neither of the coolants will support combustion or burn by themselves, only flash. Of course, the flash can cause other materials to ignite, so be careful. Now, the testing of freeze protection is the same for both coolants. One point should be made clear. A refractometer is the best method to determine freeze point, since a hydrometer is not very accurate. While a hydrometer may tell you if you're in the ballpark, a refractometer will give you a more accurate reading. Also, a hydrometer could contaminate Dex-Kool with conventional coolant if you tested a conventional coolant system and then a Dex-Kool system and returned the resulting mix back into the Dex-Kool system. The refractometer, tool number J26568 for centigrade or J23688 for Fahrenheit, is very simple to use. Before use, the cover should be opened. Both the cover and the window should be wiped clean and dried with an absorbent tissue or soft cloth. Next, with the truck cool enough to safely remove the radiator cap, get a sample by inserting the pump tip in the coolant. Press and release the pump bulb. Insert the tip into the cover plate opening and press the bulb just enough to allow a few drops to fall onto the measuring surface. At this point, you shouldn't open the cover, since the water in the coolant can evaporate and affect the accuracy of the reading. Point the tool toward a light source and look into the eyepiece. The reading is where the light and dark meet on the scale. If the reading isn't clear, clean and dry the cover and window and try again. A 50-50 mix should give a reading of about 30 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Dex-Kool is available in 1-gallon containers and in bulk 5-gallon containers. A 5-gallon container was shipped to your dealership in May to prepare you for the first vehicles which were built that month. The gallon containers are available 6 per case and can be ordered under GM SPO part number 12346290. The 5-gallon container is part number 12377910. Please remember, if a radiator fill bucket or a funnel has been used with conventional coolant, that is enough to contaminate the Dex-Kool, and it will no longer be an extended life coolant. So caution is the key word when using this new coolant. Well, I've used a lot of cautionary words about the handling of this new coolant, but when you consider the extended life of this product, it's worth it. Not only from our point of view, but more importantly, our customers. Thanks for your attention.